Welcome to the Deucecast Extra. Somewhat surprising. I had no idea there was actually going to be an episode of 1923. I thought they were going to take off just like apparently Yellowstone is for a couple weeks. There's rumor now that it's a couple weeks. So I don't know.
Oh,
Paramount,
really?
Yeah, Paramount has not announced when it's coming back yet. So I think they're taking a little bit of time out. Yet again, we've got Garrison, even though he doesn't watch the show. He's hanging out in the chat. Yeah, Jacob. He is on vacation, I believe. I think he's with family.
Yeah. And yet, Garrison, we do have the lovely Melissa.
Yes, we lucky here to have Melissa joining us.
Also known as Spencer's lack of manners.
Spencer's lack of, and then of course Dr. Earl as jilted Nigel, which is always an interesting take there. So yeah, this episode was called Nature's Empty Throne, which is an intriguing title. I'm trying to figure out exactly what Taylor Sheridan is trying to say there with that title, but
yeah,
I'm not like an English major, so
it's something about conquering the land, and that whole speech he gave about you build this house upon a cave, and that whole
right
man versus man social Darwinism stuff.
Yeah, because there was that when they were all like sort of bunking in for the night, he was having that conversation with John Sr. and Jack, just trying to kind of explain things. But I guess we can just sort of dive in. Well, Melissa, since you weren't here last week, how have you enjoyed the show thus far?
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it a lot. It's funny. Earlier this afternoon, I was reading an article about how expensive it is to make. Have you guys?
Oh, really?
They're like $30 to $35 million. Yeah.
Per episode?
For this show, wow.
Because they're shooting on location in like Kenya and
really
everywhere else, and they're.
I just thought that was Texas or something.
And they're not they're not
Texas ranch.
They're not doing like CGI. Like there's no multiplying the farm animals, or like it's all for real. And so I was
except for the leopards that are attacking.
Right.
Yeah, that's CG.
That's CGI.
There's some like special effects there, but
yeah,
I was reading an article about how he was surprised when he asked Paramount. He was like, "I need 8 more episodes to tell the story," and they're like, "Okay," and he was like, "Yeah, it's like $240 million."
Golly.
So I'm really enjoying it and I think part of the reason is because of the scale, like the
scope.
The scale is just some of those shots are like, oh my gosh, I just have to pause it and go back and watch it again.
Yeah, I love it, man.
There was a beautiful shot of those cowboys coming down the slope, and I was like, ooh, is that real? Wow.
Well, which is crazy because in a lot of shows you would just basically CG all that. Yeah, I mean, no, you're right. I mean, Garrison's right. I mean, streaming services are just ready to burn money. But, I mean, with Taylor Sheridan, he's got a pretty good track record thus far for Paramount, and they're just letting him
burn money.
I don't know. Yeah, no return on investment. We'll see. I mean, I don't know how Paramount Plus is going to make it. I mean, in the long run, but hey, I'm enjoying the ride thus far, so that's all I care about.
Yeah, I like it a lot. So this little known fact is I was buying Yellowstone on Prime for the last 4.5 seasons.
Okay, so you didn't have a subscription to? No, I guess it would have been Peacock. You would have had to have. Yeah,
and I was just like, I had this little vendetta about 30 Rock, and I was like, I refused. I'm not going to pay to watch it. And then they took
understandable.
Took it off Hulu, and then they put it back on, and blah 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 blah. But now my brother has like Paramount Plus through his job.
Oh,
good.
I was like, hook that puppy up. Let's go.
That as you should. I mean,
but no, I'm really, really enjoying it. I like it's a little confused. All the Dutton. I'm trying to figure out like how all the Duttons are gonna fit.
Michael can explain it. He can bring you.
There's a lot going on. I mean, you've obviously got John Dutton Sr., who was the son of James Dillard, which was, Tim McGraw's character. Mm-hmm. And then you've got Spencer, who was also the other son, who we never saw in
He was a baby, right?
well, we didn't see him in 1883, but we saw him in that flashback scene of Yellowstone.
Oh, that's right. Because we were saying, like, who's the other kid? And,
Right. Yeah. Well, remember, I was speculating while we were watching 1883 that was Elsa's kid. And
you did. I
it
remember that.
Up, she lost the baby or whatever. So obviously that couldn't happen. But and then we've got Jack Dutton, who is John Dutton Sr.'s kid.
Yeah.
And Jack Dutton, I guess, would therefore be, well, I don't know. We don't know what his part is going to play later on, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So, okay. So I don't think I realized that. I thought he was the son of Harrison Ford.
No. Jack is young. He's younger.
He's the son of John Dutton's
Senior. Which is James Badgedale's character.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's not really had like any big moments yet. He's just more kind of.
Well, he got shot at, but she purged.
Yeah, I mean, but he's not like a driving force in this show. He just seems more.
I think he's gonna be though, because he will be. Because he had the whole marriage thing. Yeah, I mean, he's been.
And his wife is there with what's her face.
Clara.
Oh, you're talking about John Dutton Sr.
Yeah.
His wife is back at the ranch. Yeah, Marley Shelton is his wife, playing his wife.
What's the name of Jack's? Not Jack.
No.
Wait, hold on. What's?
Come on, man.
I'm getting confused. What is Helen Mirren's character's name?
Clara.
Clara. Yeah. Yeah.
No, like Clara.
Yeah, Kara. Exactly.
Yeah, I thought it was Kara.
I think I have like a nutcracker on the brain.
Yeah. No, you're fine. And then, like, also John Dutton Sr.'s wife is Emma. She's back at the ranch with Kara.
She's with her. They were saying, I want to be out. I'd rather be outside.
Now, the character that we haven't seen yet at all is Elizabeth Dutton. She is Jack's sister. We haven't seen her at all yet. Just by name alone, they've mentioned her a couple times because they were talking about how Elizabeth was back sleeping in the house or something while they were out on the porch. We haven't seen her character at all just yet. So
I was thinking they were talking about the girl who was going to marry Jack Dutton. You know what I'm talking about? The one in the first episode? I thought that was Elizabeth. Is it not?
Oh, maybe
that's what I thought too, Dr. Earl.
Oh, no.
So
I don't know.
I was watching him talk on the porch like, okay.
So confusing.
Because she said she was really excited about that.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
And she said, now she's young still, love or whatever they said.
Right now she's still at Stratford, but she'll be a Dutton. Yeah. She's still Elizabeth Stratford right now.
So we do know.
Yeah, they're engaged. So eventually she does they get married eventually and she becomes a Dutton. The storyline that I'm actually more locked into though is Spencer's storyline. Like the stuff in Africa.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm much more interested in everything happening over there. It begs the question for some medical advice for Spencer. How is he going to get the leopard's dung out of his scar there? I mean, did they have the right medicine to help him out there in the moment, Dr. Earl?
I think I'll let Dr. Earl.
Yeah, Dr. Earl. Did they have everything?
Apparently knows the answer, so
the iodine or whatever they had.
Oh yeah, because he said something about iodine and
bromide.
Yeah, that's probably fine. Come on. Some kind of antiseptic will. Yeah, iodine will. We use it now.
Don't you think he probably would have done better just pouring the whiskey straight into the wounds? If it had enough alcohol, right?
Yeah, you should have just taken the whiskey and be like, I'm tough.
Actually, I don't have anything medical to weigh in on. I was just going to tell you that I think a cat's poop is called scat, and I think elephants is called dung. That's
probably accurate.
I just have to be,
That's pretty important to know.
I think that's actually, I think you're actually accurate there. Now, would he be able to recover as quickly as he has? Would he? He seems like
those look like pretty superficial scratches to me.
Oh, I don't know. They seem deep.
Well, they weren't as deep as obviously Elsa getting shot through her intestines was, in these arrows dipped in whatever it was.
Yeah.
Dung, maybe dung.
Scat.
What do you call?
Because I'm a 12-year-old child.
Guano.
I was like, oh, he's talking about poop. I have to weigh in on the name.
Yeah.
Human feces.
Human feces. Yeah, I mean, I was really locked into that whole storyline because we get to meet the actress is Julia Shepler, I guess,
Yeah.
and she's been in
Alexandra.
she's been in The Politician and Skies Everywhere. I mean, she's been in a couple of things, but this is still very earlier in her career. And yeah,
I really thought
she's Alexandra.
I thought she was just going to be a passing.
I thought so too.
You know, just saying blah blah blah, and he was going to like, I'm a cool American. I'm surly and gruff.
That whole scene was giving like really, really big Downton Abbey vibes. Like I was like,
right.
I was like, it was, wasn't it?
I was like, this is out of place. I don't like it in here.
Well, now maybe that means I need to watch Downton Abbey because I was very into all that. I was like, oh, a love story wrapped into 1923.
Intrigue.
I liked it. It was better than anything else that was going on. I mean, the Harrison Ford stuff in this episode was good. He's okay in it. I mean, I think it's good that they're not giving him too much to do. But man, he was pistol whipping the fire out of that guy.
Oh yeah.
I felt so bad. I think in this whole thing, I don't really know. I mean, I guess I know who you're supposed to root for, but being descended from
Irish
immigrants myself, I was like, no, fight against the man. Like I was like, ugh. It just made me feel some kind of way. I was like, oh, come on.
I'm for Melissa. I'm like, I'm for the Irish. Let's get our sheep on the land.
Come on, man.
Garrison's calling you a Gen Z. I think you need to take.
I'm an elder millennial. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Do I need to get my ID out? Good Lord.
Garrison,
that's hilarious.
No.
Garrison. So I kind of am empathetic with the sheep herders in this case a little bit. It seems like even though they're,
why can't we all have an area for?
Well, I guess that they're on Dutton's land. And
I get that. They cut the fence. They
cut the fence. They're on the land, but still, I mean, to that guy's point, there's no place else for them to feed. I mean, they can't go up into the mountains and feed. I mean, so I mean, Dutton. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? Coming on a little thick.
I thought him pistol whipping the guy.
Oh man.
And then running his sheep off would have been enough. But then, but then to put him in like a hangman's noose on horses, I don't think you could get away without the law coming and arrest. You know what I mean? Like
he was yelling about. He was like, "It's the 20th century. You're going to hang us."
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know, but I get it. I know this is Taylor Sheridan's Justice World, so Cowboy Justice World. So.
Cowboy Justice World. Well, I mean, I think that they're probably I think there's probably some law that's going to get involved in all this. I mean, I think that the guy, and what's that character's name? Is it
Patrick?
I can't remember his name.
The
sheep herder guy. What's his?
Oh, his name is Banner. Yeah. Banner.
Yeah, Banner Creighton.
Banner.
So yeah, Bruce Banner there. I think that he is going to go to the law in this case, and then maybe this is where Timothy Dalton comes into play, and he's like maybe a marshal of some type for the state, because I mean we haven't really been introduced to that character yet.
He sounds pretty Irish though. I think he's going to be like some lawyer for the Irish.
Like an ombudsman or something like that.
Yeah,
because it's
I thought I saw Jason. What's Terminator 2 guy? Wasn't he in the show?
He was in the first episode.
I thought he was the sheriff of the town or something.
I couldn't tell exactly what his role was, but I think he had a badge. So you could be right.
Deputy or something.
Yeah, I mean you could be right. I mean, because
I can't even find him in the list here.
He's there.
Oh, there he is. Robert Patrick. He's Sheriff McDowell.
Yeah, so he's
a Scotsman. He'll.
But at the same time, he seems like he's pretty aligned with Dutton, though. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. He'll be.
Do you think there's going to be like some sort of crazy reveal where Jacob figures out that Banner survived the hanging?
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, what was interesting is Dutton
he'll be coming for revenge.
Yeah, he'll be coming for revenge, but basically he was like, he didn't care either way, obviously, if they died, but he was like, they might not die if their horse is loyal. If they've got a loyal horse, they might live. And
he's
so
like, man always finds a way.
Yeah, Banner was the only one that lived in that whole group.
I think the most interesting thing that happened to Harrison Ford in this episode is he found the gravelly Neo Batman cowboy voice, the same one that Kevin Costner gets.
Yes. Well, he already kind of had
that same gruff.
Yeah,
he's pretty gruff now, though. Come on.
Yeah, in his 80s, yeah, he is definitely able to pull off the Dutton snarl.
I was like,
I don't even know what you want to call that.
I don't know. Like, good grief, you guys! Did you plan that? Did you send an email?
They're like, okay, we got to cast somebody that can do the snarl, the Dutton snarl.
Mm-hmm.
Just sounds like they're eating gravel or something. But yeah, I mean, I wanted more James Badgedale because I like him as an actor. I wanted more John Dutton Sr., and he really was kind of relegated to just a couple lines in this episode.
And this Spencer Dutton guy, man, let's put him in an action. Let's make him the next James Bond.
Brandon
Sklenar. I mean,
I don't want an American as James Bond.
Well, he's an American. I'm sorry.
I don't know if he is, and a lot of those Brits.
Well, he might be a Brit for all we know.
Yeah, a lot of those Brits can pull off an American accent pretty good, but
I'll take more James Badgedale and less Sebastian Roche.
Sebastian Roche. Okay, so yeah, that brings up what's going on.
Please go away.
Yeah.
Wait, what now?
The day school. I guess they're calling them day schools.
Oh, that
yeah.
That just I just have to like.
She wanted her. I guess we're assuming the granddaughter is Tiana, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that's a safe, right.
Yeah.
So
and she's a rainwater. Yeah.
She wants her to attend a Baptist day school.
Correct.
The guy's being that guy. I just wanted to jump through the TV at him. I was so mad. I was like, oh my gosh, please stop talking.
But, are you talking about the magistrate or whatever?
Yeah. The superintendent, I was like,
well, they're all, I don't know. I find all that.
Earl does not like that particular storyline because
I'm not into this storyline.
I think that there's some accuracy to it though, because it seems like as far as the government is concerned, they've got the reservations are sort of cordoned off and the Native Americans are living on the reservations, but there is a representative of the government on each reservation at this point in history. Maybe that doesn't continue.
No. I'm not debating that there was a magistrate or that there were Catholic schools in North Dakota.
The Dakotas.
There's this process. I mean, because we find out some pretty big news that the mother's passed away, and the dad is off working on behalf of the government. And so the grandmother is trying to
basically, that's her name.
Yeah, basically trying to adopt her granddaughter and get her out of that bad situation and into the school that's on the reservation that the Baptists are opening. So,
which I guess would be in Montana.
Right. I mean, I don't think
they're Crow, right? They're Crow.
Yeah, I don't think they spelled out exactly where they are, but yeah, I think it's probably Montana since everything else is. So I do find some of that like intriguing from a historic standpoint, just some of the stuff that it's interesting.
They did spell it out, I think.
It's interesting to me that the government would allow the Baptists to come onto the reservation and start a day school, but they wouldn't have the same type of thing for the Catholics, where the Catholics, it seems like you're sending your kin off to be put into those schools. So
she's in Dakota Territories, right, with the Catholics,
right,
which is not a state yet. And then this grandmother's come to say, hey, I want to bring her back to Montana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's a school here. So she's trying to say, look, I can give an equivalent educational experience or something. And I don't even know if she knows about everything that's going on there necessarily. Do you think?
Probably not.
You know what I mean? Like, I just think she wants to bring her back home.
I guess a number of years into the programming, the families start to find out, right? Because the kids age out or they graduate, and then you tell everybody else, I mean, you have to assume, I guess, like word's going to spread or whatever. But I guess for the purposes of the show, I don't think she has any idea.
No, I don't think she does either.
I think
No,
she wants her closer to her.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I picked up.
And it's kind of good that Roth is not on this episode because they continue to portray some uncomfortable things about the Catholic faith.
Well, see, that's where I get a little.
Yeah,
but I think you can. Yes, I think that portrayal is unfair, even if it might be accurate.
Sure.
At the time,
sure.
but I think you can also draw that line to say like people in positions of power will take advantage. Like I
Sure.
think it's easy
Exactly.
as that, right? Like you can go, these are things that happen, right? Like
Yeah.
the label of whatever.
Yeah, but yes. Well, I can go on a whole soapbox about this. Hollywood likes to portray the church. So I was like, oh, here's a nice nun. Oh, wait, she's not going to be nice. She's going to molest her. Okay, I got it.
Exactly.
Okay, Taylor Sheridan, we get it. You hate the church. Okay,
right.
He must have been really damaged as a child or something, or had some grandfather really abuse him or something.
Hey.
Dang, Dr. Earl.
I find it over the top, and I find his philosophy of life very antithetical to what I believe. I guess I'll say it that way.
Okay, that's fair. That's totally fair. Luckily, he's a really good writer, though, for the most part, and can tell multiple stories in 7 different shows that he's running at the same time.
It is amazing. It is his ability to. I mean, he must just be writing. He must go direct, go home, eat a sandwich.
Well, no, he's not directing. That's the one thing that he's probably on set, but not like all the time, because he's not directing this series at all so far. I mean, it's been somebody else completely this particular series, but he does write all the episodes. Like now it's only an 8-episode series, so hey, for him that might be a Saturday afternoon. Come up with 8-hour-long scripts. He could have knocked that out in an afternoon. Who knows?
That's a good point.
I
mean, it's impressive that he can create these shows and keep them. I mean,
it's like super elaborate, so it kind of makes you wonder if. I mean, I guess it's another conversation for another time. But did he sit down with the the thought to write all these different stories? Did he have one? But did he like reverse engineer it? Like, how did it happen?
Mm-hmm.
That stuff's fascinating to me.
Yeah, because gosh, this is a sprawling. I mean, the Dutton family in general is a sprawling story.
It is.
Yeah, it's like, do you sit down?
And I do like that part. I like
the outline for that, and then you go like, "Here's all the family trees," or
like he made the family tree himself.
How the heck does that happen?
Yeah, I mean, it's really impressive. I mean,
were you the one who said this, or did I see it on a clip I just watched where
what's that?
He was unpacking? Did somebody just say this earlier?
Go ahead. No,
I don't remember if I saw it on a video, but he said he was unpacking all the backstory, and they go, "Well, you need to make a show about that." Like we're going to give you another show. Okay. Like he was walking through the family tree with somebody and all the stories, and they go, "Oh, we're going to have to give you another show." And that's where 1923 came from.
I think at some point it does, like to Garrison's point in the chat. Like at some point though, how are you going to get the return on investment on these streaming shows? Now I can see how they're getting return on investment probably on Yellowstone proper, because it's actually still on a cable network, which is a rarity nowadays to have something just on basic cable. I mean, because that's what Paramount Network is. It's still like old school basic cable. So you're getting advertising there. You're getting people very interested in probably putting their advertising around that show. And so I guess that's making them so much money maybe on that side of things that they're able to do these streaming shows.
You're talking about Yellowstone?
Yeah, Yellowstone proper. Yeah, not like 1883 or 1923.
Garrison says he 100% has a team at this point.
Oh, he has to. Yeah, I mean, he totally has to. And if you look at that, like between all of his shows, there's a lot of commonality in between, like the directors that he uses, the cinematographers that he uses. Because even like Tulsa King, which is not in the Yellowstone universe, and Mayor of Kingstown, which is not in the Yellowstone universe, they're all shot very similar. I mean, everything looks like, oh, you can tell this is a Taylor Sheridan show.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they don't like skirt on any of the production values, which is impressive. I mean, I like that. I mean, they're putting a lot of money into all of these.
But I also am impressed. Like when you see the beginning, it
Right,
says
Harrison.
create. It doesn't just say created by Taylor Sheridan.
Yeah.
Written by Joe Schmo.
Yeah.
Like almost every first episode, and I don't know if it's all these episodes, but the very first one, I was like, oh, he wrote this. You know.
Oh, he writes all
written
of
by
them.
Taylor Sheridan.
Now, in some shows, he does have like a co-creator, like Mayor of Kingstown has
Art
a co-creator,
Linson or something. Is that...
and Tulsa King has a co-creator.
Okay.
So I mean, a lot of those shows that aren't in the Yellowstone universe, because he's got a ton of other shows. He's got one with Zoe Saldana coming out where she's an FBI agent. I mean, that's outside of Yellowstone.
Really?
I mean, so he's getting big, like huge names to come do these television shows. I mean, good grief, Harrison Ford's first television show is this one. I mean, the man's never done television before, and he's coming to agree to work with Taylor Sheridan. Now, twilight of his career, but still.
Here's a trivia question for you. What movie in 1986 had Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren in?
The Mosquito Coast. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew that because she was saying, I mean, I knew that also because I'm a Harrison Ford obsessed with him.
Okay.
But also recently in an interview, she said
I'd forgotten
that was the first role that she really had taken that got her some notice because it was a Harrison Ford movie.
Right. He was the big star.
Yeah.
And she was just like getting
she played
started.
his wife in that.
Yeah.
Which is they're back together again.
And she says now I feel like I'm more on equal footing because she's had all
I think
breakout roles. And, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. No, I think she's going to be in a superhero movie pretty soon. Shazam.
Well, I don't. Is that mean she's arrived?
I don't know.
No.
I mean, Harrison Ford's.
She had the Queen, didn't she get like an Oscar?
Harrison Ford's going to be Thunderbolt Ross. I mean,
well,
it's so funny to listen. And I know this is a tangent, but to listen to him talk about
the Marvel
getting that
universe.
role, he's like, "Well, I've never done it before, so I figured why not." like they've never done like a superhero thing.
Okay. Why not?
This is an interesting take from Garrison about Helen Mirren. She's bigger, but no one is Ford.
I think it's true. I mean,
I think that's true.
Right. And
Yeah. I think that she certainly had more roles than he has. And
she's Oscar.
Obviously won an Oscar. He
Queen,
hasn't
right?
and never will at this point. I just don't think he has it in him and probably doesn't care. I mean, I think he's said in the past that he doesn't care anything about awards shows or whatever. He probably more cares about stuff like the People's Choice Awards, where the people are voting for him. Like,
I don't think
like that old school award show. But all right, we got to get back to talking about this show. Sorry, we're like so off the beaten path.
So they let the cattle go to draw. Oh, okay. Let's talk about the guy.
They left some guys there.
There's their foreman, who I guess is sort of like this version of a Rip. He takes the sheep to the Indian territory.
Yeah, that was interesting.
That was a neat scene. I like that a lot.
Shot was gorgeous.
Yeah,
with all those sheep,
all the yellow grass, and you're looking. It looks like this amorphous blob, and for a second, it took my eyes like to adjust, and you go like, man, like the sheep are almost the same color as this, and you have the sky. It was just like, it was beautiful. I watched it like 2 more times. It was just a really pretty shot.
No, I agree.
I know the shot you're talking about. That's like they're coming down the slope or whatever.
Like, hold on, you're like, wait a minute. That's grass or that's sheep? Or, I don't know, but I don't care. Like, let's keep looking at it.
It's the golden hour pit. What do they call it? The golden hour cinematography or.
Yeah, and then that particular Native American character, who I'm guessing may come back into it, that runs his horse is that character's name.
The character or the actor's?
That's the character's name. Runs his horse. The actor is Michael Spears, but the character is runs his horse.
So he traded him all that sheep for a for a knife.
I don't think it was a trade.
I know he was just trying to get rid of the sheep. Yeah, he was just trying to get rid of the sheep, and the guy honored him.
He did. He just said like, "Here's
he convinced him that why it was good," and then he was like, "Oh well, I guess we owe him something in return."
Yeah,
as a thank you, which I don't know. I'm interested to see how the rest of that story plays out. Like, it's all kind of writing the story of like present day Dutton, know, all their relationship and all that stuff.
I mean, I think obviously Dutton is going to have to they're going to have to tie the Rainwater and the Dutton story together somehow. And Dutton must get involved in this Rainwater story that's going on. I don't think we're going to just have these two separate stories through the whole season. There's something Dutton's going to have to get involved to get her out of the situation she's in. Like maybe the grandmother goes to somebody that knows Dutton and he does something. I don't know. I mean, I would hate for them to have like this just two stories that never converge at some point for the whole season. Because I mean that's a big deal. We know of the Rainwaters. I mean that they're in Yellowstone. It's a big deal. So
yeah, it's too intertwined in the present day. There isn't any way it would work.
Yeah,
like they have to explain, or they have to like tie up all the plot stuff. They have to basically pull This Is Us and figure out how to weave it together every third episode or whatever it is.
Now, do you think that Tiana, or is that how you say her name?
Yeah, that's her name. Yeah.
Do you think that she finally now has an understanding with Sister Mary? Like they're finally at a point.
I hope she kills her.
Oh, you think she goes as far as kills her?
No, I don't think she will. I just they've made it really easy not to.
I think she's gonna escape, is my thought.
Yeah.
Right.
I could have sworn I saw some video of her looking over a bush like she was out in the desert.
No, she probably escapes, but yeah, I just think that now that I don't know. I feel like maybe Sister Mary has some empathy for her, maybe a little bit.
Maybe.
After all these events that have happened. I mean, I thought like after the first episode they had an understanding because Sister Mary also got the tar beat out of her.
She even said so. She was like, "Do we see eye to eye now?"
Yeah, I mean,
out of his office. I kind of thought it was done after that.
I did too. I didn't think that they were going to continue with the violence or whatever. But man, that actress knows how to portray the fact that she's been starved and not drinking water. I mean, golly, that scene when they're coming out of when she's coming out of the hot box. Good grief.
She was dehydrated.
She was dehydrated. I mean, she was doing a great job. I was like, whoa, that's some impressive acting. I really bought that. I thought maybe Taylor Sheridan actually left her out there for a day or something, like all night.
Maybe she said, "I'm a method actor. Yeah, I'm going to do it."
You're leaving me. Actually, leave me in the hot box.
Method. She was like, "What? How hot does it get in there? Oh, 110. I'm out. Let's do it."
So yeah, I mean, I guess Sister Mary recognized that she had a fever, so she iced the bath or whatever.
Oh, I thought she was doing it to be spiteful.
No, she said your fever could.
It'll empty the ice house.
Yeah, empty an ice house. So she knew she had a fever. So I think that's why although she did beat her after that, even though she was like, "You've got a fever."
Yeah, I got up and walked around my house and did other stuff.
Oh, you hate those? Yeah, I know you hate that storyline.
I don't care for that storyline.
You don't connect with that storyline.
I just got up.
I think for the purposes of the storytelling, I think it's all tinged with spite.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I think she'll either escape or kill her or something. I don't know.
I think if anybody gets killed, it's going to be the father, the priest. I think he's the one. I don't think Sister Mary's going to get killed. I think
maybe
Sebastian
Mary and Tiana will join together.
Or what will happen is Mary will let it happen. Like she won't try and intercede. She'll let some. I think he's going to buy it. I think Sister Mary's.
So the scene where they're putting her into the box and he's threatening her.
Right.
Did anybody's TV show them what he said in French?
No, because I didn't have closed captioning.
I didn't have my closed captions on.
What did it?
Even with the closed captioning on, it was so frustrating to me. It just said speaks French, and I was like, yeah, no duh. And so
it didn't translate it.
I got very irritated, and I got a little obsessive about it, and I recorded it off the television.
Oh yes,
I played it back like 4 or 5 times at like half speed.
Yeah.
So we'll put my high school French to the test. So it was something like "J'aimerais bien conduire petit sauvage," which is like, "I'm driving now, you little savage."
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. It's like when Captain Phillips gets his ship taken, and the guy's like, "I'm the captain now.
Look at me. Look at me.
Look at
I'm
me.
the captain.
I'm the captain now."
Like I'm in charge because
I'm in charge now, you little savage.
The way he said it, and I couldn't figure out if it was like actual French or if it was more like Canadian, French. And I was like,
well, they are in North Dakota.
Yeah, right. And I was like, well,
so it might have been French.
I don't know. I was so irritated. I tried to play it back with like 3 or 4 different captions.
Now I want to look and see like Sebastian Roach's background.
Yeah.
Like if he's actually
the actor or
I think he is a Scottish French actor.
Huh.
But it doesn't say that doesn't say where he was born though. Oh, he was born in Paris. Okay, he was born in Paris. He has a French father and a Scottish mother.
All right then.
That's an interesting combination. French Scot.
When I first met him on the screen on a soap opera, he was playing an Australian.
Yeah, I know, right? Dude has been. I mean, he's a great actor because he can do like any. He's one of those versatile actors that can really like do anything, and he's been doing it forever. I mean, if you look up his IMDb profile, he's got at least 100. He's got at least 116 credits. I mean, he's been in a ton of stuff. Yeah. Some of which are schlock. But
he was in the Batman TV show.
Some of which are good though too.
I'm sorry, the Batwoman TV show.
He's had his moments. I don't know if he's had any award nominations in his career, but he's had his moments of brilliance.
The Young Pope.
I was reading all these interviews and like op-eds and articles this afternoon, and I read one with him, and he was like, even on the days where I didn't have to be on set, I would go just to watch Harrison Ford work.
Yeah,
huge admirer.
Oh yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want to just like relish being able to see that guy? Because it's just one of those things. Like you recognize the gravity of the situation. That okay, this guy's 81. He's not going to be able to do this much longer. I mean, because who knows? I mean, when the man's going to pass away. And so yeah, if you've got the opportunity to watch Harrison Ford work. Because at that age, you do start to wonder, like cognitively, if people are able to like memorize lines well and whatnot. And it seems like Harrison Ford is still with it a little bit.
I think that's why Jack Nicholson.
Oh yeah,
I think he's got.
He did. He totally retired.
He retired because he just didn't want to.
Yeah, I mean, and that unfortunately happens when you get up in age like that. I mean, even if it's not, from dementia or whatever, you just have a hard time remembering stuff when you're in your 80s. And that one scene where they're all like around the fire or whatever, that was a pretty good monologue. I mean, just like,
oh no, that was great for Ford.
This is some good work for him. I mean,
it is.
I'm not saying like, oh, this is Emmy worthy, but I mean, it's it's good.
But it shows his range. I don't think we see Harrison.
Garrison hates when I talk about Harrison Ford's age. He totally hates it.
I mean, I know we're only 2 episodes in, but I was thinking to myself while I was watching this, I was like, he's more convincing as a cowboy. Like it's getting there. I was like watching him ride and hearing him talk, and like I was like, okay, like get it.
Like there was a couple of times I forgot it was Harrison Ford. Like I just felt like this was a character in this. You know what I mean? Like I didn't think about it. So that made me feel good about his portrayal. That it was
I mean
solid acting.
And the guy lives in. He's got a ranch somewhere, so he knows how to do the horse thing. He just for some reason hasn't actually done many westerns. He did some. Like he did Frisco Kid or whatever in his early days, but he really hasn't. And I don't count Cowboys and Aliens as a real Western. He really hasn't done like many Westerns at all. Like he hasn't done much stuff like that. So this is kind of unique in his career to see him in a role like this. Just like we've got Nicolas Cage coming out with a couple Westerns next year, and he's never done Western. Like the dude's never done Westerns.
He's like, give me a Western. I need
so we don't have to.
What now?
Are you going to watch those so we don't have to?
I will 100% go to the theater if it's in Birmingham. Earl can attest to this. If there's a Nicolas Cage movie that's in Birmingham, I will be there. I don't care what it is. We went and saw that stupid samurai one that he was. What was that called, Earl? I can't even remember what it was called.
That is
It was like an alien samurai film.
Yeah, that was really awful.
It was horrible, but it was in
fun,
town,
but...
so I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go see that." So yeah, no, if it
Boy,
actually makes it to the theaters, he's got one
What's
coming
the
out in
name of that?
February. I'll be
Great.
there if it's
That's
in
so great.
Birmingham. No, don't you worry, Melissa. I will watch every Nicolas Cage movie, so you don't have to.
I'll get around to all of them sooner or later. Maybe not all of them.
There's a lot of them.
There's
a lot of stinkers in there.
I think he's coming back. He's having comeback, right?
He is a little bit of a comeback. He's going to have a big 2023, depending on if the roles are good, if the movies are good. He's playing Dracula in Renfield.
It was called
Jiu-Jitsu. I thought you were about to say he was playing in Rent. I was like, wait, what?
No. He's playing Dracula in Renfield.
Got it.
Yeah, Jiu-Jitsu. What was it called?
Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, it was just called Jiu-Jitsu. That was the name of the alien samurai film or whatever that actually came into theaters.
I'm sorry. I just read the description of the movie and I reminded myself how ridiculous it is. It has nothing to do with 1923, though.
So, do we think Alexandria is going to make it there in Africa with Spencer, or is she going to buy it?
Well, the question is he going to make it? Like, do we know?
Oh, no, we don't. We don't know. We don't. Look, the Duttons have a lot of tragedy in their history, so no, we don't know if he doesn't make it. I mean,
I was trying to figure out if they were like married and she was a Dutton we didn't know about.
If they went dark,
it's just like
if they went super dark,
yes,
they get married. Maybe they don't get married. Who cares? Anyways, she has his baby. He dies, and she has to go back to Montana with his baby, and they have to take her in. I mean, because it's she's a Dutton at that point.
Okay, yeah,
right.
Interesting.
That makes a lot of sense.
That is
November 2020. That's right. That's for jiu-jitsu. Yep. That's exactly right. So yeah, I mean, I always err on the side that Taylor Sheridan's going to go completely sad and dark and
kill.
So I just kill people.
I think either she's going to die or he's going to die.
Well, I think that or she has the baby. If we do like time jumps, I don't know if we're doing time jumps
right now.
She has the baby, then dies. That would be super tragic. Also, I mean,
right now it's one of the most compelling storylines, though. So I want to let him go for like a couple.
Oh no! I don't want him to. Yeah, I don't want.
I don't want anybody to die necessarily, but I just know that Taylor Sheridan will kill people off for a good story. I mean, if it helps propel the story in any way, he'll kill some people off without hesitation.
For sure.
But yeah, I mean, I think by the end of the season, we have to get him back to Montana, though. Like that storyline, some of those characters have to come back to Montana. I don't think, unless there's a season 2 planned of this, which I don't know. I mean,
I think there is.
Did they already announce that?
It's already been ordered.
Well, okay, if you can lock Harrison Ford in,
I misread. I don't know. More.
Isn't there a 1948 coming, or did I
thought so? Yeah, I thought that there was a 48 coming too. Which, if it's a 48, they could actually use some of these same actors. I mean, because that's not too
Ford
big
will be dead though, right? They would.
Yeah. Ford would be dead, so you could stick around with James Badgedale
plus years. Yeah.
I mean, you could. Well, okay. So this is an interesting question. I think that they're about to try and spin that off with what's happening in Yellowstone, the storylines that they're going with, because they're having to take all that cattle down to, I guess, part of Colorado, but I think they're going to end up in Texas also, because
I think
you've got Beth calling the 4-6s, inquiring about how they do,
product placement.
Yeah.
If I'm not able to buy like Yellowstone branded beef by the end of 2023, I'm going to be really disappointed.
You can definitely buy 4-6s branded beef right now.
But I want a steak with like on the label. I want like Kevin Costner's face.
Yeah, Kevin Costner's face.
I'm going to be really disappointed.
Well, that begs the question. I mean, how do you cook a steak? What do you go? Do you go rare or you go medium rare? What's your preference, Melissa?
Since you're the people. Chef.
Oh, are you? I thought you were. I'm sorry. I thought you were.
In general,
fun. I like medium rare. It depends on the cut, but I typically prefer medium rare. Yeah.
So a fillet, you go medium rare.
Yeah. It depends on how
medium
large.
Rare.
Like, So
oh yeah,
if
100%.
it's bigger than like a 6-ounce fillet, then I like it medium because the thicker it gets, the more cold it will be on the inside. So I don't really like it cold on the
You
inside.
don't want it cold on the inside, yeah.
Like a hot red or warm red.
Interesting.
Yeah. What about you?
I do medium rare, whatever the size of the, especially a fillet. Like even if it's an 8-ounce fillet, I'll go medium rare on that. I mean, I'm not afraid. I mean, and there's not many restaurants that'll go more than an 8-ounce fillet.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Perry's. You can get like a 10, get a 16.
Well, I don't.
It's dumb.
Let's not talk. Perry's is good, but
yeah, it's like you don't have to tell me, but like, yeah, it's like when you start getting that big, you're ending up in like a competition range. It's not like a Friday night dinner. It's more like eat this in an hour and you get a T-shirt. So
well, I wouldn't have. I would have no problem putting down a 10-ounce fillet. I'll be honest. I would have no problem putting that down. Rhett could probably do 2 in one night. Rhett would try to do 20 ounces of fillet.
He's got an incredible capacity he's got like 2 stomachs or something. Like, what did he do today? Like 6 chili cheese dogs or something?
No, all the hot dogs places were closed for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
So he ended up having to go get pho. I'm sorry, pho. I don't know how to say it. Fee. Five faux foam.
Dr. Earl, how do you eat your steak?
Medium.
Yeah, you go medium.
I have to have it a little more done than just straight.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's your steak.
Well, I used to do well done, which is crazy.
No, that's uncalled for.
Now I don't think we could be friends anymore.
That's uncalled for.
Yeah, well, that was when I was younger and didn't know better. But now I know.
Okay.
Now I like medium.
Now you're wise.
At least you don't do ranch with your steak. I've seen people do that, and I'm like, what is happening?
Why?
What is going on?
Just because it came from a ranch doesn't mean you.
Now, Earl, I am going to call you out a little bit because I've seen you get the A1 or the.
Yeah, I do the A1.
I've seen you get. I can't abide by that.
Well, yeah, I got to have a steak sauce with my steak.
Good. I don't know.
They've got to be able
to
provide you a seasoned steak.
Yeah.
With that, and you shouldn't need to have any of that.
But it can cover a multitude of sins.
That's true. No, you're right.
I need a little moisture to coat my steak.
That's why you get it medium rare. It's moist. Yeah.
Beer.
Well, yeah, or beer. Yeah. There is that too. There is definitely.
I have a swallowing thing.
Although beer with a steak doesn't seem classy at all. I just don't have the beer.
What, you think you're better than me now, Mikey?
I do.
Michael. Oh my gosh.
I need a glass of red wine with a steak, not a beer.
That's so bougie.
A red. I'm just kidding. Of course, a red.
Bougie. Or an old fashioned or something. I mean, you can't do a beer with a steak. No.
Really?
No.
Michael.
Unless if you're at Outback, maybe. But
Michael only eats the high end bougie places, right?
No, that's Rhett.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've pretty much covered.
John Dutton would eat a beer and eat a steak and drink a beer, right?
Yeah, probably.
I think so.
Yeah, I think he would.
Gator would cook it that way.
I am sad that there's not an equivalent Gator in this series.
Well, there's still a lot of time. Yeah, there's still a lot of time.
Yeah.
Oh well, I mean, look, it's not my fault that he couldn't come tonight. I'm sorry. Sorry, it's not my fault.
Yeah, where was he? I thought he had a party or something.
He had a party. He's speaking of bougie.
Together with some friends.
That dude, he's always got something going on.
I wonder if he's wearing the tuxedo.
No, he did get some Jordans for Christmas, and he's struggling through knowing how to tie them. Like
Air Jordans.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I don't know. You're asking.
I was like, what is it? 1996? I don't understand.
Okay, so color me dumb, but like, do you tie a Jordan's different than a regular shoe?
Apparently,
I don't even know.
I don't know.
I've been wearing chef shoes for 21 years. They just slide on. So
apparently,
I haven't had a shoe in a hot minute.
And apparently, you don't want to crease your Jordans either. So you have to walk a certain way so your Jordans don't crease.
What the love?
Look, I'm just going by what I've heard.
He's walking like Harrison Ford now. He's like,
man, I did see one scene where it looked like Harrison was struggling a little bit to get off that horse.
He's bow-legged, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep, crease. You don't want to crease them.
Oh yeah, you can't.
Can't. It's a new thing. Back when I had Jordans, I didn't care if they got dirty, creased, or whatever.
Michael, clutch pearls.
It's a whole world that I am not familiar with.
No, the sneaker world is not a world I understand, and I don't really want to understand it. So no, I didn't. No, Harrison was struggling a little bit to get off that horse, and one I think it was the scene where they were breaking for camp. He was struggled a little bit to get off that horse.
We didn't talk about the scene. We loosely touched on it, but we didn't talk about the scene where the ladies were on the porch.
Yeah, that was a great scene.
Yeah,
it was really poignant how she was kind of giving her a hard time about like, oh, you also can't sleep because the men are here. Basically, it was kind of like the gist of. I thought it was really sweet. Like I thought it was really like.
Yeah. It
was an interesting, and I hate to use this word because it's so cliche, but it was an interesting juxtaposition to the same similar thing that happened in Yellowstone when Monica was like watching everyone leave.
Yep.
And this is the hardest part, watching them leave. So it's the same type of thing. I mean, they're just basically showing that that's a part of this ranch life. I mean, the spouses don't like to, because they know their spouses might not come back.
When will they? Will they make right?
There's that flash forward in the first episode we get of Kara, and she shoots the guy.
Yeah.
I think
so.
Maybe that's like the retcon, like we got to soften her a little. Like we got to.
Well, no, that just means tragedy to come. That just means we're going to get to see.
Yeah, because that looked like one of those Irish dudes. He had
people are going to die, and
and I can't ever like now. I won't call sheep. They're prairie maggots now.
Prairie maggots, yes.
I was like,
but man, a lamb shank is good. I'm sorry. I mean. But yeah, prairie maggots. That's like how they call
prairie maggots
over here in the South. They call the and I'm sure every place else, but they call raccoons trash pandas. I mean, it's that's
adorable.
Oh, I never heard that till Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's not true.
It is true. I've never heard them called that before.
Really? Oh,
no.
That's They've been called that for quite so because
I'm sure they have.
That's what Huntsville's AAA ball team is called, the Trash.
Well, that's true.
They did a vote, which people need to learn to stop letting people pick the name of your franchise on the internet. Like, stop putting a poll out. Hey, what do you want us to call our team? And Trash Pandas won, so like, okay, well, I guess we got to go with Trash Pandas. I mean,
the people have spoken.
Yeah, it's just like what. I can't remember if it was like a school mascot or something where they were doing that, and they picked that I'm on a boat or something to do with a boat. I can't remember exactly what that one was all about, but I thought that was interesting as well. All right. Well, I was trying to stall as long as I could.
Well, didn't they almost have Admiral Akbar? Like wasn't it like Ole Miss when they were trying to get a rebels?
Yes. That never happened though.
There was like a big write-in campaign to get Admiral Akbar as the rebel, as the mascot for the Ole Miss Rebels.
Oh yeah, I did.
He is a rebel.
This is funny too that Georgia has the Macon Whoopies. Yeah, I thought that's pretty funny.
Mikey, what are you stalling for?
What now?
What are you stalling for?
I was trying to stall to give Rhett a chance because Rhett said that he was maybe going to try and make it, but I think we've exhausted what we can talk about with this particular episode. Because I think we covered everything.
It wasn't a ton.
So what are the predictions? What are our predictions of this show?
Well, okay. So, I mean, you've already said a couple of them. You think that, pretty simple one, we don't know how Miss Tiana or whatever is going to get out of the situation she's in. I predict that the priest dies. You predict Sister Mary dies. That's kind of like where we diverge there.
Oh.
Didn't you predict Sister Mary was going to die?
I just figured she'd escape, but
yeah, but do you think she's going to have to kill somebody to do that?
I just said if it's Taylor Sheridan's world, yeah, probably somebody's going to have to.
Yeah, I mean,
be murdered.
Like those gnarly henchmen. So I wonder one of them will fight it.
Yeah, I mean, she'll get. Yeah, I would like to see the priest die versus Sister Mary. I think Sister Mary has, albeit small, but she has some redeeming qualities.
Although, here's the deal: why haven't they already kicked this girl out? Like, if she's beaten up a sister twice,
I don't think they can. I mean, they just punish them.
They could just
funding thing.
Yeah, I think it's a punishment until submission thing. I mean, that's kind of like what they're trying to do.
You think it's like a prison type thing?
Not a prison, but they're trying to get the quote unquote savage out of them.
Beat the Indian out of them.
Yeah,
she wants to. Yeah,
I don't know.
It's like a. I don't know. I don't think they just kick him out. I don't think that happens. That's either they die there because they wouldn't submit. I don't think there's a kicking out process.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't think that. So, in order for her to escape, I think somebody's going to have to die. I mean, we already talked about predictions with the Spencer storyline. I mean, kind of. I have the outlandish prediction that a baby will be born now, and one of them will die, though,
and floated in a basket to Montana,
and floated in a basket back to Montana.
That's right.
One of them, either Spencer will be with the baby or Alexandria will be with the baby, but they will end up back in Montana with a child. Not together, though.
And I don't think it's hello, I'm British.
I don't think it could be a happy ending for that story.
This is Spencer's baby.
Yeah.
And then the Irish lady will be like, what, Cora, whatever her name,
Kara.
Helen Mirren will go, get off my land, you English.
Exactly. Well, okay, so we know for sure that John Sr. lives because that's Dabney Coleman.
He's got it. Yeah.
So we know for sure that John Sr. makes it to his full life, basically, because that is John Dutton's dad. So John Dutton III, I guess, in this case.
Yeah.
So we know he makes it. So that, you know, what that sadly means is I think Spencer probably dies because you can't have both Dutton brothers live. You can't have the two brothers live. One of the brothers has to die. It's just.
What if they live in like Africa or England, and then all of a sudden on Yellowstone, there's a guy who shows up and he goes, "Hello, I'm a Dutton and I'm from England.
I'm Geoffrey with a G.
I'm Geoffrey."
Geoffrey Dutton.
Oh, or they live in South Africa. He comes in. Hello, mate. He's from South Africa.
Oh, I can't do a South African accent. I'm not even going to try. I can't even. I'm not even going to try that.
I was doing an Australian accent actually.
I mean, oddly, we've only got 6 episodes left. I mean, it's a quick little season, and they're not taking a break. I think they are going to have an episode next week, even though it's another holiday. So we will be back next Tuesday to talk about 1923 and maybe Yellowstone. I think it's taking a little bit longer break than people thought. I think it's.
Have you heard this rumor that this is Kevin Costner's last season
of Yellowstone?
Yeah, I was trying to do a recap on, with some YouTube clips, and I just happened to see why Kevin Costner is leaving after season 5. I don't know.
Well, I know
it's clickbait, but I was like, really? Is he?
I know that he's in the midst of making his magnum opus Western.
Another one?
He's got a Western that he's directing again. Like that's supposed to be his, basically his Reds. Is that what Warren Beatty directed?
Yeah. I read kind of along the same lines. There was like a gossip, like a clickbait link that I went down the rabbit hole. It's like, screw it, I want to see what it says. And it was like he's having marital problems because the show is pulling him away from home too often. But then a couple paragraphs later, it was like, but she doesn't mind that he makes $1 million an episode. I was like,
sure.
Yeah, both, right?
I was like, eh.
I mean, I've always heard that, and I think Stallone has even said this recently, that because this was his real first experience with television, that it's much more taxing than a film set or whatever. I mean, a film set,
it's
depending on the movie, it's maybe a 4 to 5 month process at the most, where a TV show can be much longer than that.
Yeah.
And Stallone said that was an
like
unexpected
a full-time job.
Yeah, Stallone said that was an unexpected thing for him. But Tulsa King got a second season already greenlit, so I mean, I guess he liked it enough. He liked the paycheck, maybe. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, he liked the money.
Yeah, he liked the money out of it. So I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised that Costner is like. I mean, that's a lot of television it's taken him away of potentially being in a lot of other projects that he might have had to turn down because he knew he had Yellowstone to work on. So I don't know. I mean, if they tell a good story, but that'd be tough to do a 6th season without Kevin Costner. I mean, I would want them to end the show if they're not going to bring him back.
He's going to die. I would.
Yeah, I don't know if any of that's true. I think it was just
Yeah, I wouldn't want a Yellowstone season 6 without Kevin Costner. I don't think that's wise to go that route. And I think Sheridan knows that. I mean, I don't think Sheridan would. But
I don't know. It could be a Who Shot JR.
Who Shot JR?
B character spinoffs, right?
Well, I think that they're going to try and do that with whatever they're about to do with Rip. I think now if somebody does leave the show, I think Rip would, and maybe do a spinoff show down in Texas or whatever and be part of the 4 Sixes. I mean, maybe they thought better of doing the 4 Sixes show with just Jefferson.
Have Beth Dutton move to that show too, right?
Yeah, she would move to the 4 Sixes show. I mean, maybe that's what they're trying to set up.
Colby and Teeter could have kids, and then it could be like Teeter's Tots or something like that.
Yeah, because I think that what's going to end up happening in Yellowstone, and I know we talked about this briefly last week, is that Ethan is going to end up staying, and Colby's going to end up going, because Ethan's going to want to be with Lainey Wilson. I can't remember her character's name, but he's going to end up after that speech she gave him. I wish I was your dream or whatever. That he's going to decide to stay, and then Colby will take the spot and go with Teeter. I mean, that just kind of makes more sense for me. I mean, for that. Tator. Give me that bear. Bar.
I want that bar right there.
I can't even say how she's.
Give me that bar.
That bar. All right. So, Melissa.
That's good for tonight.
Where can people find you on the interwebs if you want them to find you?
Oh my goodness, you froze for a second. Okay. That's okay. I'm on Instagram and Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at That's Ms. Chef. And then February 2023 on the podcast, the Food for Thoughtcast. So
keep plugging that because we're gonna have a lot of subscribers for that. I promise.
It'll be like all 6 of you and my mom if she can figure out how to listen to it. So there you go.
That's fair.
That's always the challenge.
That's fair. All right, Garrison. We added a book talk channel in the Deucecast Discord.
So
we're gonna add a chef channel once you get your podcast going.
How to cook a good steak.
Yeah, food talk.
Steak talk.
So there, that does allow me to plug the Deucecast Discord. If you are if you're finding this show and you're like, what is this Deuce thing? We've had a podcast for like 12 years talking about movies. This is kind of what I jokingly call the TV wing, even though there's often times where we talk about movies as well on the YouTube show. But we've got the podcast, which is at thedeucecast.com. But the Discord is kind of like where we all hang out. So if you want to email us at thedeucecast@gmail.com, I can add you to Discord if you come upon this and you're interested. Dr. Earl is off the grid. He can't be found.
I just don't want
except in the Deucecast
in the Discord chat. I will be
in the Discord, exactly. Eventually I'm actually going to change it to the Discord.
Not Discord, not Dadcord.
Not Dadcord.
It is Discord.
It's Discord. Yes,
the Deucecord.
Exactly. I can be found at the Michael Nip on Twitter. We've got a really fun episode of the Deucecast movie show coming out tomorrow. It's our annual Lumps of Coal episode. We had a lot of
fun.
It's a lot of fun to crap on stuff. So it's basically our version of
we gave some people a meteorite of coal.
It's the airing of grievances. The airing of grievances. Of movies that we maybe didn't love, but maybe other people did. I mean, we don't want to necessarily degrade everybody.
Look, it was our opinion.
It's just our opinion. Exactly. Yeah. Melissa, thanks so much for hanging out. I'm glad you could make it. Otherwise, it would have been like old school, just me and Earl, and nobody wants to see that.
Yeah, that's not fun.
I'm not even fun for old time's sake.
Yeah, no, I love you coming to hang out. I will keep sending you that email link so you can join us for this show whenever you can make it. Don't feel obligated, but whenever you can make it, you are always welcome.
I already told all my staff that they all have to work Tuesday night, so I can do this.
That's awesome. Okay, that's
oh wow,
that's perfect.
All right, you're in.
We will be back. Like I said, I mean, 1923 for sure has an episode. I already looked, and they for sure have an episode. They're not taking New Year's day off, I guess, in that, or New Year's Eve, I guess, in that case. No, it would be New Year's Day because it's a Sunday and that's the 1st. So yeah, they're not taking New Year's Day off. It is not a holiday in their book. But I still think Yellowstone's not coming back this coming Sunday. I think it's taken a 2-week hiatus.
There's a lot of football that has to be watched.
Oh
You
yeah,
think it'll
national.
be back on the 8th? Well, so when's this? I'm kind of football dumb. When's the Super Bowl?
Well, the Super Bowl is not until
that's the
February,
end
but
of-
we're talking
yeah.
about college national championship. Yeah,
Oh,
and there's and the
That's
January
all this
1st
weekend,
bowls.
right? Is that this
No, the
weekend?
national
No, it's the
championship's
next
not until the
weekend.
9th or something.
I'm gonna do this school thing, but
I would if I was a betting man, I would say that Yellowstone comes back on the 8th. I think that's probably accurate. I can't imagine them taking much more off than 2 weeks. I mean, that's building up a lot of momentum for 7 episodes, and then letting holidays dictate like your release schedule is kind of weird to me. But
and then that's the end of the first half of the season, right? They take
that
another break?
would be the mid-season finale, and I don't think they're taking another break. They gotta end this thing.
Why do they call it a mid-season finale though? That makes it sound like they're going to take another couple of weeks off to.
That's a common though. I mean, that's and they might not take a break though. They just might call it a mid-season finale and then just go for a couple more weeks. It's only 14 episodes. They got to figure it out. According to Garrison, December 29th is the best night of college football. I'm guessing it's because Florida State is playing. This is what I'm guessing.
If Garrison is saying that.
If Garrison is saying that, I'm guessing that's because Florida State is playing.
That's probably not correct.
Yeah, so we'll see. No, I think the national championship is like on a Monday or Tuesday.
It's usually it's going to be like the 9th or
it's
whatever,
like
whatever
a weird. I don't know.
Monday is from like whenever. When is New Year's? It's on Sunday, right? Yeah.
I mean,
Christmas,
the bigger event
Sunday.
for me personally, and
It'll
we will address this next week. Well, I don't want to get too far ahead.
The
of
World
myself.
Cup. The World Cup.
No,
that's
the
already
Golden
happened.
Globes. The Golden Globes.
The Golden Globes.
Yeah.
Right.
They're oddly on a Tuesday this year, so that is Tuesday that we're not going to be having.
We'll live stream it. We'll just live stream it.
No.
Yes. Live with.
No.
Yes.
Where are you going to watch it, Michael? You don't have.
No.
You don't have. It's on.
It's gonna stream on Peacock, I think. And if it's not, I'm coming to your house.
Come on, man.
Dr. Earl, I will be at your house.
We've had the
the Academy Awards, so why not the Golden
yeah.
Globes? So anyways. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody hanging out in the chat, and that means Garrison in this case. Even though I know he doesn't watch 1923, it was fun seeing his comments throughout the chat. That makes it fun for us to do this show. Really appreciate everybody that will see this later on. Look, do us a favor, share the episode. We're like really only like 19 away from 100. We're almost there, and I'm like going to stop asking once we get
subscribe
to 100.
to it. Do something crazy.
So, yeah, I mean we need subscribers.
Mash that bell right there.
If you come upon this and you're interested in Star Wars, Marvel, and Yellowstone, we will be talking about all of that. It's a weird amalgamation, but I mean, Bad Batch is about to come back, so we'll be talking Star Wars very soon.
And PBS TV shows, we might.
No, we're not going to add any other. No, we're not adding any other.
That's different. That's a different chat.
Mikey's going to start watching Doctor Who. He's just going to pick and choose episodes, and then we're going to do extras about those.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to start watching it too. I've not watched a lot.
Because that'll be on Disney Plus, I think. Weirdly, I think the
Wasn't
new episode
on HBO for a while.
The old episodes are, but Disney Plus just got the rights to air it in the United States, so it'll be on Disney Plus, which is
I can't.
So weird. I didn't understand it, but whatever. All right, well that's it. It was fun. Talk to you guys next Tuesday for. No, I'm not starting. No, stop it, Kirsten. I'm not starting with Rose. We will see you next Tuesday. I never know how to end this.